Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. I thought this was worth talking about because it has to do with the stock market and the recent volatility in the market. GE stock got body slammed yesterday. Today's August 16th. On August 15th, GE stock got body slammed because there was a guy who had apparently he'd predicted the Madoff, Bernie Madoff scandal. And this guy basically came out and said that GE, because of their faulty accounting practices, that GE was another Enron waiting to happen. If you don't know much about Enron, Enron was a company that appeared to be financially stable, but actually ended up collapsing. And I was actually stunned by the allegations because GE is not a company that you typically expect to see defined that way. And because GE's been around a long time, I think Thomas Edison founded GE, if I'm not mistaken, General Electric, and they just aren't known for having shady, faulty accounting practices. And their firm, KPMG, that's been their firm for 100 years, and they're good. They're good at what they do. So I was stunned. I was like, wow, how did this slip through the cracks? You know, they have to file financial reports, and they get all this scrutiny from all these analysts. How is it that one guy discovers this glaring problem? I think that he said that they were hiding 38 billion in potential losses, and the story was faulty from the jump in my mind because the guy was getting compensation. Markopolos, that's his name. His name was let me find his name. He was this Markopolos guy. I'm gonna tell you who he is. Harry Markopolos. Harry Markopolos is actually getting compensated by a fund, a hedge fund or something, that was actually shorting GE stock. And I said, he might get sued for this and possibly arrested. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna say that that's his, but it's one of those things where it's almost like the opposite of a pump and dump. Maybe it's a dip and dive. I don't know what you'd call it, but you're pushing the stock down deliberately with this faulty information, and it's working, which fascinated the hell out of me. I said the market must really. There's either I'm missing something, or the market is not as efficient as we thought, right? There's a whole debate in academia about whether or not stock markets are efficient and rational. It to me was not rational at all for the market to react the way that it did with the dip in GE stock. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a believer that GE is going to figure it out. And I went in and I got a shovel full of money and I just bought a ton of GE stock because I said this does not look accurate to me. So let me tell you. So today GE stock rose 9%. Why did it rise almost 9%? Well, because a lot of analysts are coming back and calling BS on Markopolos' allegations. The CEO stood by their accounting. Also, other analysts, external independent analysts have basically said this is nonsense. And let me read some of this to you. Let's see here. Quote, "You got the stock on sale yesterday for absolutely no basis. This is why all the insiders are buying," says William Blair analyst Nick Heymann. And I agree. I was one of those guys that bought the hell out of GE stock. I said, oh God, GE's on sale right now. Let me go buy some shares. Here's another quote. "This is the last Molotov cocktail that someone is throwing down the street," Heymann says of Markopolos' allegations against GE. In a 175-page report Thursday, Markopolos accused GE of issuing fraudulent financial statements to hide the extent of its accounting problems. The allegations by Madoff whistleblower Harry Markopolos of a $38 billion fraud at GE are at best disingenuous and at worst highly accurate. I would say at worst criminal. Almost. I mean, I just can't imagine this not causing issues with the Securities and Exchange Commission or with shareholder lawsuits. It's just crazy that this guy got away with this. According to Nick Heymann, co-group head of global industrial infrastructure at the William Blair financial services firm. So another credible person is saying that this other person is incredible. Let's see. So the shares tanked yesterday. They dropped 11% to $8.01 per share in their worst trading session in more than a decade. So GE stock has not dropped that much in a day for a decade. GE stock on Friday regained most of those losses after the troubled conglomerate late Thursday revealed that CEO Larry Culp purchased nearly $2 million worth of shares. So the insider, the ultimate insider, the CEO, bought $2 million worth of shares, which when insiders buy company stock, that tends to push the price up because people assume the insiders know things other people don't. The purchase was made after Markopolos called the company a bigger fraud than Enron. Culp, who became chairman and CEO of GE last year, said that the Markopolos accusations were false and driven by market manipulation. I agree 100%. Leslie Seidman, a GE board director and audit committee chair, also pushed back on the Markopolos report, or is telling CNBC on Thursday that, quote, it does not reflect the GE that I know. She added that the report is, quote, full of misleading, inaccurate, and inflammatory statements, end quote. I think this Markopolos guy, there's something here. There's something, he's got a hustle. There's something about this. Maybe he's trying to get this whistleblower money. I know he got a lot of money when he blew the whistle on Madoff. I need to look up this guy's bio because I'm a little, as a shareholder of GE, I'm a little pissed off that this guy did this. But at the same time, as a person who benefited from his market manipulation, I guess I have to say, well, I made some money from it. But it's still kind of crazy that this kind of nonsense can move a market. It just doesn't make any sense. Earlier Thursday, let me keep going. Earlier Thursday, billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller told CNBC that he added to his position in GE, which according to SEC filings already totaled 6.2 million shares. Druckenmiller said he believes in Culp's turnaround plans. I do too. I've read enough about what his plan is to fix the company, and I believe he can do it. Let's see here. Markopolos accused GE of issuing fraudulent financial statements to hide the extent of its accounting problems. He told CNBC on Thursday that GE is a bankruptcy waiting to happen. Markopolos, best known for pointing out the irregularities of Bernie Madoff's investment strategy years before the Ponzi scheme was exposed. I think it's easier to point out a Ponzi scheme than it is to, figure out somehow how all of GE's accountants and experts missed this glaring $40 billion financial fraud. That's just my 2 cents. Also, he conducted the research into GE at the behest of a hedge fund, which he refused to name. So this hedge fund, which has shorted GE stock, paid this guy to go do this research, and it's ridiculous that the results of this research were taken seriously enough that it led to a dip in shares. It kind of just speaks to the fact that maybe the market is being driven by a tremendous amount of irrationality, perhaps irrational exuberance. It's crazy to me that investors would push the price down like this. Quote, the two non-cash charges that Markopolos alleges should be currently reflected on GE's balance sheet, which total collective 18.2 billion. Okay, I thought that it was 38 billion. I don't know why I thought 38 billion. If this was announced in 2016 or 2017, it would have been a very different, real, substantive pulling back of the covers, argued Heymann. In January 2018, he pointed out GE's long-term care insurance unit had to boost reserves by 15 billion. Markopolos claims another 18 billion of insurance loss reserves are needed. Admitting he's not knowledgeable enough to say either way whether Markopolos is correct about the 18.5 billion. Heymann said GE could easily afford that amount if it were required. So a lot of the question was around GE's liquidity. Do they have enough cash to solve their problems? So quote unquote, the immediate liquidity of the company, unrestricted cash, revolving lines, less commercial paper outstanding, is over $60 billion. That's write a check. So Heyman's saying that GE's got 60 billion they can use if they need it. He added that GE will be getting 21 billion in the fall from the biopharma sale. So they're going to sell their biopharma unit for 21.4 billion and could sell its healthcare unit for 46 billion and the rest of Baker Hughes for 5.5 billion. That gives you a 133 billion dollars of immediate term cash liquidity to address an 18.5 billion alleged requirement. Very good logic. This is the last Molotov cocktail that someone is throwing down the street, Heymann said in the Markopolos report, suggesting it's a desperate attempt to disparage GE for profit. I agree. It's shameful. I'm surprised the language isn't stronger. I think this guy should be sued, possibly investigated, because this is just insane that he's allowed to do this. But maybe in the era of fake news, everybody can say whatever they want without any consequences. In a note to William Blair clients, Heymann wrote, "We do not believe GE's financial statements purposely misrepresent the company's current financial condition or future potential liabilities. We find it hard to believe that GE, which has been engaged in several regulatory reviews of its accounting and financial disclosures for 2 years, has fraudulently misrepresented its financial reporting." And also, Heymann wasn't the only analyst. There were a lot of analysts that were defending GE, and I agree. And again, I just think this was crazy. So anyway, I'm about to go, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial channel, where we give financial news on a daily basis that has a black spin to it. Black people need our own version of CNBC, except it's better. Sponsored, brought to you by the Black Business School. Make sure you go to theblackbusinessschool.com. You can get started for free. Make financial literacy a part of your family culture. In fact, if you want to learn how to buy your first share of stock and you haven't done that yet, go to Black Money 100, blackmoney100.com, and there's a video training I put together for free that all you do is sign up there and you can get access to this free training. You'll be investing by this afternoon. Once again, a reminder also, I'll be doing an investment seminar in Atlanta the weekend of August 25th. So if you want to come out for that, go to drboyceatlanta.com. That's drboyceatlanta.com. The All Black National Convention, I'll do an investing seminar there among 7 or 8 other panels that we're going to have that weekend, and networking events and everything else. So if you like that kind of thing, if you love being black and that's fun for you, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Please hit the thumbs up button. I'll see you soon. Have a good day.